So, what room are you in? Are you in room 1?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Step up to the box. Face the clerk and raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Have a seat, sir. You may inquire, Mr. Loyd.
Would you state your name, sir?
It's Dan Doskey.
And how are you employed, Mr. Doskey?
I'm the Vice President for Video Services at Legal Graphic Works.
And what kind of work do you do there?
So we're a litigation support company. We do any kind of work to help attorneys present their cases.
Okay. And can you give us some information about your background?
Sure. So I've worked in video editing and with cameras since 1993. I attended the University of Florida. The major at that time was called telecommunications, which is basically broadcasting. Worked in television news until 2007, and then started doing litigation support work. So at the beginning, it was literally cutting tape with a razor blade and a grease pencil. And of course, now we do everything by computers, but that's the length of time. I think we're at 28 years now.
Okay. And there came a time where I hired you and asked you to do some work.
That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell the jury generally what kind of work I asked you to do?
So it was, at the simplest form, editing some video, which was surveillance footage. Also reviewing that footage to ensure that it was intact, that it was complete, that there weren't any issues with it. And then on the little bit more complicated side, magnification and changing contrast and brightness settings to see if there was any way to see more detail in any of those images.
Now, when you're talking about looking at the actual video, I imagine like speed and things like that, can you tell the jury a little bit about that and what this video is made of and how it is created and how is it stored and how is it viewed?
Yes, so most of the video that we're going to be talking about is premises surveillance footage. So it was recorded at a store, and those systems have, and there's a specific reason for the way they do it, but they generally will record at lower frame rates than the video that you would see, say, on television. So the frame rate for this video is 5 frames per second, and what a frame is video is really just a collection of still images. So each time the camera captures a still image and puts it in line, that's a frame. So video that you watch on the news or on your favorite TV show or at a sporting event, usually you're going to be at least 30 frames per second, may go all the way up to 120 frames or faster when they're doing like slow motion replays of like a football play or something like that. This is about 5 frames per second. So in terms of quality of the video and what are the action you can see, this is much less than you would see like on television or broadcast quality. But the reason that they do that in surveillance systems is because they need to save 24 hours a day, maybe on 12 different cameras, and they need to hang on to that for possibly a month or 6 months or a year. So the storage of all that footage, if you saved everything at a really high quality, would be, it would cost a lot of money, and it would physically take up a lot of space to have all of those computers and hard drives and everything to save all of that. So most surveillance systems that you see are gonna have video recorded at a lower frame rate and also at lower quality so that they can keep more of it for a longer period of time.
When you're talking about a lower frame rate and lower quality, what, if anything, do we miss when that's the situation?
So, like I was talking about before, where you might see a slow motion replay at a sporting event at 120 frames per second, the reason you want that high frame rate is so that you can see exactly, and it stays crystal clear when something's moving, if the receiver's foot's out of bounds, or if the runner's foot or hand has touched a base or whatever it is, if it was baseball or football. When you have a lower frame like this is 5 frames per second, it's capturing 5 images per second. So the faster things are moving, the more you're going to miss. So you could move your hand back and forth a few times in a second, but if you're only capturing 5 frames, you're going to miss some of that action from point A to point B and then back again. So the faster things are going, the more important frame rate becomes.
Okay. And so when I asked you to do some things in this particular case, did you generate some files in regards to that?
Yes.
Okay. And in preparation for today, did you load those files onto a flash drive?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have the flash drive on you?
I believe Ms. O'Shea.
Okay. I need to move into evidence first. Please.
State, have you seen this?
They've seen it.
Okay. All right, are you moving this into evidence?
Yeah, Judge.
And what is it?
Is it fairly and accurately depict work that you did in this case that we've talked about today?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
All right, this will be received without objection as Defense Exhibit Number 7. This is a flash drive containing a variety of material.
Thank you. Yeah, plug it in. Do you have to turn this on, Judge? Okay, there we
No,
go.
it's on.
Okay. So can you turn it
Been on the
this way?
whole time, yeah. There you go.
Okay. Where are we? Can you exit that out first? Right. But exit out first. Okay, so where are the videos? Give it to me, look at the piece of paper. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about what you were provided initially from me. Can you tell the jurors what you were provided initially from me in this particular case?
So you provided me selected video files from Walmart. Those files were in a Windows media format. That's what I initially received.
Okay. And as you moved along doing work, did you shorten those files or condense those files in various things that can be seen by the jury?
Yes, we did. That's editing. So editing's a non-destructive process. It doesn't destroy the original, still exactly like it is. But once we're done editing, we have something new that, looks different, it's shorter, it's cut up differently, it might be slower, etc. Okay. Yes, we did edit.
And how many cameras, well, let me step back for a second. When you were provided the initial camera footage from Walmart, were there areas both inside and outside the store?
Yes.
Okay. So some of the areas you see from cameras depicting the grocery area, the cash register area, maybe the dock?
That's correct.
Okay. And we kind of focus on how many different cameras when you were working with me on preparing for trial?
Primarily 3.
Okay. I'm going to show you the first one. Which is labeled Rooftop Cam GN to N2. Is that this camera? Is that this video?
Yes.
Okay. And so in this particular case, at the very beginning of this video, we see to the left a thing that can be toggled, I guess, by whoever's operating this so they can choose a time to view the video. Is that right?
Right, yeah, it's a slide bar, scrub bar that you can move along to jump to different points in the video.
Okay. And so what we found was relevant to the shooting was a time period that was around 7:15.
It's 7:17 in about 45 seconds.
Okay. So what I'm hearing and what I'm doing is fast forwarding the time.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead.
So if someone wanted to look at the time before or the time after that's on this video, they can do that themselves.
That's correct.
Okay.
If you move the mouse up off of that line, it will, that'll go away.
And this is the incident of the shooting that you worked on, correct?
Correct. No, what we're looking at here is the original footage provided from Walmart to Orlando police.
Now you can stop this, move it back and forth, correct?
Yes.
Now how do you stop this to free?
The blue button in the middle.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so what we saw was someone run by here and now is running in a different direction?
Yes.
And then turns back around and has a firearm in his hand.
I'll say yes.
Okay. So pretty much if you have a laptop and this disk with this information, you can go through and track the time and the things that the folks are doing on here, correct?
Yes. Now, on these particular files, there's a video codec, which is like a language that certain files need to communicate with a computer to play the video back. That's located within this folder that has to be installed on the computer. Once that's installed, then you can play it back. But so everything you need to watch it is on the drive, but to watch these particular files, which are the original videos from Walmart, you do have to install that onto your local machine in order for it to play back properly.
Okay, and you'll provide us that specific information so we can provide it to the technical folks here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The next,
And that's another reason that we edit the footage sometimes, is just because it's not easy to play back on any computer when it's in a proprietary format like comes from the store.
okay. And the next video you received that you worked on, you said was the Southwest, Grocery to Southwest?
Yes.
And then that's a different camera.
Correct.
And the same way you can move it forward. Now this appears to be darker. Do you know why that is?
It's 6:45 in the morning.
Okay,
The other camera had the same
got it.
same time of day, but just different lighting conditions, depending on how the light hits the lens, et cetera. You're gonna see it look a little bit different.
And again, you can move up to the time a little bit before or after, whatever you want to do.
That's correct.
Up to you. And the same with the other camera. You can view whatever portion you want, correct?
That's correct.
And the last camera?
Is the SD Grocery DJ ENT VEST, which is the entrance vestibule. It's not that one.
It's not this one?
No.
Okay.
It's 2 down from that one, from where you are.
This one?
Yes, sir.
And what is this?
So that's a camera from inside the store that's pointed out the doors of the, I assume it's the grocery entrance.
Okay. Yes. Hold on. Can I have a second, Judge?
Yes.
Hold on. Okay, I want to take you back a little bit on this video. What time does that say?
6:44 and 55 seconds a.m.
Now let's go back to what we were looking at before. Now, Mr. Doskey, from this view, we're looking outside?
Well, both really. So the camera's inside, pointed toward the outside, yes.
Okay. And do you know which direction this is if you were to go right outside the door?
On the compass?
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay. Okay. And one more portion here. And those are the 3 videos that you worked off of. Come on. I want to go back over something real quick.
Sure. Do you want me to answer that last question?
Yes.
Primarily, yes. Those were the 3 videos that we worked with.
Okay. Okay, what time is that?
It's 6:44 and 55, 56, 57,
Okay.
so on.
What time is that?
7 a.m. and 25 seconds.
Okay. What time is this?
7:17 and 45 seconds.
Okay. All right. So next I want to go to the work that you did. That's in video exports.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk about the drone footage that you collected.
Okay.
Tell the jury about how you collected that.
So there were 2 different dates that we went to the Walmart property. One was March of 2020, and one was about a week ago, October 20th, 2021. We went to the property, launched the drone. In March, we flew across the front of the building from, I think we started right to left and then back left to right. In October, we flew up over the Walmart building out to a wooded area, and I believe that's on the north side of the building, but from the building across the parking lot over to that wooded area. Landed, and that was it. It was
Okay. And
probably less than 5 minutes both times.
I'm showing you what's indicated as 3101 West Princeton drone footage on 3/4/2020.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why it's doing that. Do you know why? Because it's not doing that on my computer.
I'm hoping it's just a loose cable, a loose cable on the back.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
It's good to have an IT guy on the stand. Nope, not it. Let's get out of this and try it again. All right. And the second one is entitled Walmart Drone Overview 10/2021.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to go to the second one down, which is SD Grocery DJ.
Okay.
Do you know what that is off the top of your head?
So that's going to be the camera that's inside the vestibule looking outside, and those numbers on the front side of that file name indicate the time. So that's from 7/16/52 through 7/17/45.
And do you do anything other than convert the, just splice it? Do you do anything, enhancement or anything like that?
No, there's nothing,
Okay.
nothing's adjusted here. It's just the video as it was edited down. So I apologize. This one is the external camera. That same doorway, just looking outside and to the right.
Okay, the next one.
The next one down is the interior from 7/17/38 to, I lost the title, but I think it's to 7/18 and 0 seconds.
And the next one down?
That is the rooftop GM to N2, 7/17/47 to 7/18/59.
And the next one, sir?
It should be the same thing. The _1 is usually what happens when you just duplicate a file, so that may have just been a mistake.
Okay.
That it got copied in there twice.
Apparently the size is very close.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the next one with Southwest?
Yeah, so that's the other rooftop camera that we talked about earlier, from the same time period.
The next one, sir?
That is back to the GM to N2 rooftop camera, and that should be an 8-second clip from 7/17/52 to 7/18/0.
Okay. The next one?
The next file is an audio file. It was provided to me by you with, you told me it was a radio call, and asked to first 1 minute and 5 seconds of that radio call.
Okay.
And, to leave the rest off. So this is 1 minute and 5 seconds of a radio call.
Do I press Windows Media?
That'll work for you, yep.
There's been 1033 traffic on emergency north, revolver 20 out of the Walmart, 1 West Princeton Street, reference attempted contact, possible signal 5 suspect, 1033 on emergency north.
Which line route are we broke over here? Wow, 26 officer.
Yeah.
Sarge, where are you exactly?
I guess we're looking for Markeith. He's walking out the door right now. I guess he's involved in the shooting with Clayton Senior. I'm at the first entrance.
Do you have eyes on him? Do you know a vehicle?
Robert 20, 10-4.
Okay, how do I get that? A moment. Okay, the next one is entitled Loyd compilation. What is that?
So that is a video edited together from the 3 cameras that we spoke about before. You'll see it runs through one time in real time, but you also see the videos magnified in places. We also adjusted the brightness and the contrast, no different than how you do on your TV at home, just to see if there was any more detail that could be gotten from the image. So it'll run through those scenes a couple of times. The second time through a little slower.
Are you highlighting that?
Yes. That's it for that one.
Okay. ML exits, entry and exit grocery?
Yeah, so that's another, a different camera that we haven't talked about before. That's a little bit further back from the entry and exit doors. And you'll see Mr. Loyd exit Walmart.
Overhead, external?
Okay, so there's two cameras that are, one's on the outside of the doors and one's on the inside of the doors, but they're both pointed almost straight down to the ground from overhead.
Did you also prepare some stills?
Yes. If you click on the top left where it says USB drive D, that'll take you back out, yeah.
And this one here. Are those the stills you prepared?
There were 11 in total, that's 8 of them. The other 3 are just in a different folder.
Okay, we'll start with number 1. What is this?
That's from the, yeah, there you go. That's from the interior vestibule camera at 7:17:41 a.m. that is magnified.
Okay. Number 2?
That's 7:17:58 from the rooftop GM to N2 camera.
Okay. Number 3?
It's the same timestamp, but it's a different frame from that same camera.
So this is when you're talking about 5 frames per second?
Correct. So you'd see, when things are moving, you would see 5 different images for each second of the clock that ticks by.
Okay. Number 4?
Same image as before, but magnified.
Okay.
So same image as WM03.
And 5?
That's 7:18:0 from that same rooftop GM to N2 camera.
And this?
This is the rooftop grocery to southwest camera. And that's a magnified image from that camera. It's not the full frame.
And 7?
7:18:02 from the rooftop grocery to southwest camera. Again, it's magnified.
And this one?
7:18:03 from the rooftop grocery to southwest camera. Again, that's also magnified.
And the other stills are?
October 2021.
Okay, we'll start with 9. What is this?
That's from the entry-exit camera that's on the outside of the building, 7/17/39, and that is, that's the full frame, so that's the whole camera view.
And 10?
So that's 7/17/58 from the rooftop GM to N2 camera, and it's got a highlight circle over Lieutenant Clayton.
There came a time before trial that I asked you to prepare some demonstratives.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been previously marked as defendant's identification B. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a print of the image that we're looking at on the screen right now.
Yeah, thank you. Is it fair and accurately represent the work that you did in the image that you produced?
Yes.
Move into evidence, Judge.
Any objection? No objection, Your Honor. I recently received without objection the state's exhibit for defense exhibit number 8.
All right. And so you did the red circle?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to publish it for a moment. Did there come a time that you did also a similar one, which is defense identification E? You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Did you do this one?
Yes.
Does it fairly and accurately represent the digital image that you created?
Yes.
And move that into evidence?
No objection.
I recently received without objection the defense exhibit number 9.
Publish that to jury. Did there come a time where I asked you to blow up a photograph that was taken by our investigator, Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's A for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it a fair and accurate reproduction of the photograph that you were provided?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And it's fair to say that you don't know when this photo was taken?
Correct. I do not know when that photo was taken.
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. This will be received without objection.
You saw these, right?
Number 10.
Thank you. There came an occasion where I asked you to reproduce an item. This is defendant's identification D that the state had provided me. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
And did you reproduce the item?
Yes.
So it became this blow up?
Yes.
I'd move this into evidence, Judge. Same one.
No objection to
All right, this will be received as defense exhibit number 11. Ordinary. Is this the same one that in the state?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's identification F. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it, sir?
An image that was emailed to me by you.
Okay. And does it fairly and accurately represent the recreation that you made?
Yes.
I move that into evidence.
Objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, this will be received without objection as defense exhibit number 12.
Please publish. I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's G for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes,
What is it?
it's an image that you emailed to me.
In the same condition that it was when you created this?
Yes, so it's a request to turn it into a printed board.
Okay. I move this into evidence, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
This will be received without objection as defense exhibit number 13.
Oh, sorry. Oh, actually, this is not it. I think that, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm confused. Thank you. I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's an image that you emailed to me with the request that we turn it into a board.
Okay. In the same condition that the photograph appeared is the condition that this does?
Yes, sir.
Blow up? Okay. Move H into evidence.
No, Your Honor.
This will be received without objection as defense exhibit 14.
This is it. Publish it to the jury. This is H. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on, let's make sure we've got them all marked.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Publish it to the jury, Judge.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what's been marked as defendant's identification C. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
Is that something you created?
Yes, it is.
Was it created off the work that you did prior to on this particular still?
Yes, sir.
Just enlarged?
Correct.
I move into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
This will be received as defense exhibit 15 without objection.
Publish it to the jury, Judge. Ted, you can take that. I'm done with that. I'm showing you the last still, which is number 11. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
It is a still we created from the video with a red ellipse or circle on top of Lieutenant Clayton.
Okay. What we discussed was all the work you did in terms of for this particular trial?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further, Judge.
Thanks for the excuse.
Yes.
No objection.
All right, thank you, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so this seems like a good time to take a break. This may be a slightly longer break. It's an hour and we'll take care of it. Make yourself some coffee and relax. I'll get back to this soon.
That's a flash drive. Yes. Okay.